Hello Diva Dolls, my name is Penny and welcome back to another episode of blasting hyperpop with your windows down. I am 99% sure that my neighbours absolutely hate me because there is only so many times you can cope with being woke up by Isbrokey being blasted outside at 5 a.m. But I'm doing my part to keep the rent down. And speaking of hyperpop, it seems like once you realize you're trans, you get a prophecy. You get an elder scroll handed to you. And it's like, okay, choose which prophecy you want to fulfill. Electronic artist? Like, seriously, why are there so many of them? Social media personality? Or like furry comp sci nerd. And of course some people choose all three, which is literally the greed they talk about in the Bible. But luckily for all of you, I do not have a cracked version of FL Studio, so you are safe, for now.
What do you mean by that?
Today I want to talk about what happens before you pick your skill tree, and that's the haunting and anxiety-inducing task of coming out to your friends. It's something we all have to do, and we all do it differently. I've heard people send emails to their family, some simply just start dressing different, or you know, the traditional
Mum, Dad, I'm gay! Wrong!
I handled telling friends, family, and work completely differently for each respective one, so I am going to make a different video on each respective one. But for now, I will start with friends. This was simultaneously the easiest and the hardest one for me. To explain, I've mentioned in earlier videos that I was in a fan server for a YouTuber. In fact, one of the songs I was playing earlier was made by them. Telling them was incredibly easy because that YouTuber was themselves gender non-conforming. I simply just changed my pronouns as I was gender fluid at the time and waited for people to notice. Childhood friends, however, is a completely different story. My closest friends I have been friends with since we were 12 in school together, so they got pre-patch Penny before she got patches. Get it? Because estrad. Okay.
I love myself, but I don't like the way I am.
Because most of our time as friends was with me presenting incorrectly as male.
Boom.
Male.
No.
Our relationship and dynamic was based on that, so our humour was very much in line with like the Schlats or the Swagger Souls of the world.
You ever written about the Ma situation though?
The Ma? What's the Ma situation?
And our interests were very stereotypical things like UFC or weightlifting, and a decent amount of us hanging out together was doing traditionally masculine stuff like going to the gym together. So coming out as transgender to a group where so much of the male experience is baked into our relationship was understandably terrifying, which is why I came out as full of gender fluid.
What the fuck?
Anyway, I did that because it was easier. Going from one binary to another is a large jump, and one people often don't understand, which is why I think a lot of trans people say the classic "I am the same person" shtick, which I hate, but I will get into that another time. This is so common as a way of coming out because it's more digestible that way and less intimidating for the other person. Because sadly, a lot of the coming out experience ends up not being about us and more about coaching others. Me coming out as gender fluid wasn't just for others though, it was also for me. Initially it was like, oh cool, I get a pass to dress like slightly girlier, which did lead to the femboy era, but we're not gonna talk about it. But it did allow me to get more comfortable with expressing myself femininely. But you know, once you're 3 months into being gender fluid and you have not once felt any fluidity going on, it was time to question myself. The moment the figurative egg cracked was when I thought, if I started HRT this year, I'd have like a woman's body by 25. And that thought sort of flew by, but I caught it and was like, oh, damn, that's an incredibly cis thought to have. From there, I just did it. I released the patch notes and the community met it with a few different reactions. Some cried, some gave me a hug. Others, they knighted me with the female experience of your friend trying it on with you, which was Yeah, that sucks.
No, you cannot have my coochie.
But a few months on, and honestly, it does change things, and recently me and my friends spoke about this. The short story of it all is that if people truly care about you, it'll be fine. Dynamics naturally change as you change yourself, obviously. The further you get into your transition, obviously your appearance will change, which has its own implications, as male and female public presentation comes with its own dynamic. An example of this is now when I go out with my friends, I do not go anywhere alone. And if I do, my friends make sure I get home safely because, you know, women are at danger, which is just really cool.
Wow, this has just been such a pleasure. I'm such a lucky boy. I can't wait to go home.
That is a more noticeable change, but the bigger ones are you. You will change. As I have gone through my transition, I've 100% changed. And that's partly due to the HRT, yeah, which definitely has impacted stuff like emotional changes, but it's also because you will blossom into more of the person who you truly are, and you will disconnect from your prior persona. The best example I can give of this is my name. When I first came out, I was very much certain that
my name is my name,
and I like it as a girl's name. But the further I get into my transition, that's not really the case anymore, because my name is slowly starting to feel like the name of someone who I no longer am.
To say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is.
And that's not just for that goes for interests and parts of my personality as well. Like, I used to be really into sports such as F1 or UFC, but I would now rather watch Trixie or a vlog than the hell yeah nature of watching someone get knocked out. That isn't to say that girls can't be into those things, but as I get more comfortable with my femininity, it is very much a thing I have noticed. Some people will stay around for these changes because people who truly care about you do not care if you're a boy or a girl. They like you.
I love you, bitch.
If I could say anything to the friend of a trans person, I would say it does take effort. I recognize it's not a simple thing because you build up an idea and connection with this person with specific connotations, and those changing is weird. You are requested to change the way you interpret and discuss this person, which is 100% a manual change that you have to make. It's not like your friend comes out to you as trans and then you're immediately able to switch the image of them in your brain. As much as that would be nice, it's just not how it works. But I can tell you, making that effort will mean the world to them. The trans journey is a confusing and hard one, so being there to listen will 100% be appreciated. Others will not put in that same effort, but honestly, that's a blessing in disguise. While it sucks that some turned out not to truly support you, they were going to fall off anyway. The people who do not support your transition or don't make the effort to stick around will get annoyed at something you do eventually, as if your friendship is based on conforming to their standards, you'll eventually break those standards anyway. So, screw them. This video was massively inspired by Will and Harper on Netflix, which, if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it. It's mainly a show about working through the complications of your close friend coming out as trans and what that means, but it also goes into like internalized transphobia in a very heart-wrenching way, but it's really good. I'd highly recommend it. But for now, that is all. To give you a little status update, I have been working on content for my other channels. Some of you may have seen the Skyrim video that I posted, but I also have another channel that is going to be used for stream highlights, which I am nearly ready to release the first video for, which I will put a snippet of that at the end here. So pull over if you get tired, call me back. I hope you enjoy this, and bye! Hello everyone, my name is Penny, and welcome to Borderlands 2, which is easily one of my favourite games of all time. I have intense nostalgia for being dropped into this world with complete psychos. If you've never played this game before and you're British, think Birmingham.
I just woke up in a steaming mood, yeah, because I live in a hole.
And if you're American, think Florida. Millennials be like, this is my pupper. Look at my cute little pupper. He feeds on fucking iridium. Uh-oh. This was not... I haven't played this game in like 5 or 6 years after being super obsessed with it. And like, seeing this again, the music... I remember when I watched this as a kid, I thought Zero had so much fucking aura. Insurance companies be like, no, we have no evidence, it's fine. It's not a write-off. My favourite character is by far Maya. Maya's best girl. It's probably Salvador in terms of like gameplay, but
We do not care.
here's the thing. I am transgender.
What?
And in my opinion, there has never been a more transgender coded non-trans character than Gage. She's a comp sci nerd. She's like an anarchist. How many trans girls do you know that are like comp sci nerds that are communists? A lot.
Well, of course I know him. He's me.
Probably. That's half of us. Can I give her bangs? I can give her bangs. It's the most transgender. Oh my. She has a bang head and a furry head. Look, I'm telling you. Do we go all purple? I can give her purple hair.
Up yours, woke moralist.
What's a transgender? What's like a transgender name? I am ashamed for how many times I've played this fucking game. Complete with the mini mare. Now. Come, friend. Stop thinking out loud.
Your master needs help! Shut the fuck up!
So here's the thing. Everyone hates Claptrap, right? Because he's annoying. And yeah, his voice is definitely annoying. But he's kind of cute. Why is he kind of...
Hear me out.
Anywho, I keep a pistol in the cabinet over there for emergencies. But in here, we should be pretty safe.